Alright, beautiful people, welcome to another video. If you are watching this, then I didn't do what I thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to take a break and not post a video this week, but apparently, if you're watching this, then I did. So, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys at the end. So, it is spring, and apparently, my little bird friends are back. I heard something weird and I looked outside and they're pulling a string into their bird nest here. So I might have scared them off. I hope I didn't. But it is spring and it is spring and they are back. Alright, so what you guys are about to watch me do is work on a couple of things. So the first thing I need to do is to shape the deck, and part of that means smoothing the transition from one side of the deck to the other. So you'll see me do that with an angle grinder. The other thing you'll see me do is to clean up the edge here, especially in the tip, and finish trimming the deck back so that it matches up with the hull. Finally, pretty much no matter what you do, there's always kind of a gap along the edges. And in some places it's worse, and in some places it's better. And so what you'll see me do is fill in that gap with a mix of resin and wood flour. So it makes kind of like a wood putty, and I'll mix that in, and then I'll let it dry. And then after that, it's just sanding. I used to fiberglass the hull, and then mount the deck, and then fiberglass the deck. And now I've started, or in the more recent boats, I've started doing the deck and the hull and then fiberglassing them both around the same time. So fiberglassing, so mounting the deck, finishing the deck, sanding everything, and then fiberglassing the hull. And then when I fiberglass the deck, there's a bit of an overlap. And it seems like, for me at least, it seems like that makes things a little bit better. So, you've been watching me work the edge of the boat here and the top seam here using a flat disc on an angle grinder to kind of make those edges nice. Now what I've been doing along this edge is squaring up the edge between the deck and the hull. If you look at the profile of the boat, it looks something like this, where this top piece here is the deck, and this piece here is the hull, and there is a cedar rail connecting the two pieces. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use a roundover bit on the router, right? So it's got a round profile, and I'm going to use that to run along that edge. And as it runs along this edge, it'll make it a nice smooth transition from the deck to the hull. tutorials are really about removing material and getting the boat closer and closer to the final shape that I want it to be. So the first thing, or the most material that's going to be taken off, is probably going to be taken off by the router using the roundover bit. Then the angle grinder using a flap disc. And then finally the sander using progressive levels of sandpaper, going from a really coarse grit, 35, 40 grit, all the way up into the hundreds. I usually stop at about 220 or 320. After that, on something this big, you really don't see the advantage. But again, we're just taking away material and getting the boat closer and closer to the profile that I want the boat to be, and really refining those lines and making everything as nice and clean as I possibly can. So one of the problems with trying to do things for YouTube is that sometimes you get so into what you're doing that you forget to hit record. So what I'm doing is gluing down the front of the deck right here. The deck wants to go straight and the hull curves down here a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this in parchment paper, and that is to keep whatever it is that I use to pull down on the deck from sticking to the deck. Curves. What's the matter? Why are you beeping? Alright, I don't know why you're beeping, but it looks like you're still recording. One of the things that I forgot to mention is the need to put putty into the gaps along the seams between the deck and the hull on both edges. So what I like to do is tip the boat up on its side and then kind of go along the edge and press putty into that gap as you go along. Then you wait a day for it all to cure, and then you can go and grind it all nice and smooth, and then keep working to shape the boat. guys, so just like that, we're at the end of a video. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching. I hope you guys learned a lot, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. All right, have a great rest of your day.